somebody's strengths. Actually, I can log this. And you're going to try to guess who it is. This is like how well do we know our team people. So I'll tell you what the strengths are.
Remember mine.
Yeah, if you can't remember yours, it's actually even better. Okay, so our first person we're going to try to guess who it is. I might have to go back and forth on this. Hang on a second. All right, this person is very strong in input, and what that means is people strong with input have a craving to know more. They are collectors and archivists of all kinds of information. They often have lots of collections, and it could be anything. It could be they collect seashells, it could be they collect files, data. They are often an amazing resource because they will have collected data and things and photos and whatever, and they're often a great resource person to go to because they inherently, and they often are really organized too. So input is this part.
It's some people that are here right now and not the people that aren't.
Yep.
Right?
This person is also strong as a developer, which means this person, they recognize and cultivate potential in other people. Just inherently, they're going to do that without even thinking about it. They can see signs of small improvements, and they get satisfaction sort of doing that development work and seeing improvements in others. Does that make sense? Okay. This person also has positivity. You'll probably guess what that one is, but positivity is, they have enthusiasm that is flat out contagious. They're always upbeat. They get other people excited about what they're going to do. They just have a positive outlook, even on a gloomy day.
I know, I'm looking in this corner.
Okay, so you're thinking, who is this person? Who is this person?
Janice.
Communication. I'm telling you, so we're not communication. So again, if you need somebody to be, when I say this person, if you need somebody to be positive and put a positive spin, just be like, you're my happiness person. Communication. These are people who find it easy to put their thoughts into words. They're good at conversation. They're good at presenting. It kind of makes sense. They're good at communicating. And finally, this person is what's called a maximizer. And maximizers, this is interesting. It's almost similar to developers. They focus on strength as a way to stimulate personal and group excellence. They find ways to transform something strong into something amazing. So they sort of help things to grow and flourish, but it's not necessarily people, it's often like projects. So this person has both people and projects that they can help to sort of grow into something beyond. So I heard guesses. What were the guesses?
Janice.
I would like that to be me, but
It's Janice.
They only guessed once you got to positivity.
Before this, I don't think that's
I
right.
was thinking it was between Jen and you. Then
Yeah.
always happy. Oh yeah. Here we go.
So what do you like to collect?
Yeah.
Well, lately,
Input was your number one.
I know, I was so shocked. Well, I love reading, and plus, right now I'm working on genealogy, so I've collected a ton of old pictures and tons of like my family history, and I'm always cutting articles out of the newspaper saving and that kind of stuff. And
See, I didn't know that about
So-
you. I learned something new about you today.
but I was so surprised that was number one.
you can be
I was
the
like,
JLH archive.
No, I don't want to do it. It's enough with
It's right
everything
up
I
your
have at home.
These people want to get data or whatever. It might be. It's different people depending on who they are. They're gonna like be kind of inherently collectors of different things.
My friend, I was telling her, she goes, "Does that mean you're a hoarder?" And I said, "I hope not."
No. It's not. It's more about being inquisitive, right, and wanting to
Learn more.
just that hobby. It doesn't necessarily mean hoarding at all. And
You're a hoarder if it's 8 foot deep through your entire life.
yeah, and the book says like you collect things. You might be collecting information, words, facts, books, quotes, or tangible things, butterflies, photos. You collect things because it's interesting to you. That's the whole thing about it, right? Is it's like that you get passionate and interested and want to like learn more. So what it says though, this person we should sort of delve into her issues, like whatever it is. So like if genealogy is her passion right now, we should be like, oh, what do you know about that? And these people tend to want to, they want to be in the know. So these are people you should always ask for information because they're going to have the information, right? These are like the she's gonna know where to find it. No, just inherently, you will probably be the go-to person, know where to find something, or who's the right person, or it's that input of, you always are taking input in and collecting it and storing it somewhere in your crazy head. Just, you can't stop yourself from it.
That was indicative of our exercise this morning, right? You're the first person to ask, where are the directions? Are the directions in here?
Right.
Give me the directions.
That's so true.
Right?
It just naturally came out, right?
It just naturally comes out, and you shouldn't try to stop it. That would just naturally come out, no matter what. And I think I'm pretty resonating with you, the positivity one. Positivity. Yeah, positivity is like you would. I didn't think you would
To
talk
a
about it.
T.
Yeah.
And the communicator part, right after that you said communicator. Is
Yeah.
it positivity and then communicator?
Jensen, does this group know about you being the one to bring me back to the league?
I was so happy.
It was because Janice was the one who called me when I was kind of gone for about a year after starting Reach, and I didn't want to come back, and she was so happy to talk to me and actually be on the phone with me. She's like, I finally got to talk to you. Are you gonna come back to the league? And so I was like, okay.
And aren't we so
Look at
happy?
you now.
But even when she wasn't in the
Wow.
league, she was so incredible helping with sax. And she
Yeah.
wasn't even a member at that time. And for her to take her time to, so yes, we're so lucky to have
You are a
her.
very good communicator. That's what I'm like.
That's definitely
Well, and the
Janice.
positivity too, to me, it's about people who are strong in positivity. It says lighten other people's spirits, right? And so you should think about how to use that. That like if it is about bringing people back into the league, we should go. Janice should be the
Janice.
one to be right. We should play off of that. Janice should be the one. It's probably not me, 'cause I'll be like the bitter old whatever league, right?
Like your
But
email
Janice
to
would be
the-
the one that would be like celebrating things, and that positivity and lightness that she inherently has would engage people to come back. And she's gonna just be making it fun and exciting, and she's always
Your email to Kelly, whenever she's coming back. We were following up on all the delinquent people.
Oh, you mean Vanessa?
It was Kelly, was it? I copied your email because I was like, that's the spin I want to.
That's weird.
Did I?
Any of
Did
our
I put
communication
everybody on
pieces, right?
It got
That's the thing.
forwarded to the.
I think that's what we're gonna do. Is any of our communication? Hey, Janice,
So I was
look at
like,
this. And
oh,
can
that
you
was so nice.
can you redo this and make it a lot more nicer?
You're so enthusiastic.
It's the sincerity, right?
Yeah.
that
It's
brought
very
it back.
personable.
It's a
So
very-
it's always very personal.
It's not fake because it's Janice, right? It's inherently the rest of us. If we tried being that damn positive, we couldn't do it.
Oh,
because
yes, you could.
No. See? But we couldn't, right? And that's okay. But some of us are stronger in other things. It would come out as fake and like, because it would be, right? It would not be
Yeah.
for you. It is genuine because it's part of like who you are. So you should like, we should all embrace it, right? And let her run with it and use it to sort of maximize what we do. So many of yours will line up in the same sort of way. It's really interesting. The sort of developer, maximizer positivity. Like, you should probably chair all of our like recruitment and members. No, frankly, right? Because it's the developing the potential of people and projects and that positive piece balanced together. Like you are just in it. I know you're thinking about careers, right? So you should think about like what you're doing next that does that,
What
right?
kind of job could I find that would do that?
Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
coaching,
anything in
HR,
HR,
those kind of things.
coaching,
Because
yeah, coaching,
that's what you're really
executive
good at, no matter
coaching,
what.
leadership development, or even like a HR, even in HR administration, there's just not that many people.
Right.
Like,
So as a developer, this says
or
you see the
executive
potential in
recruiter,
others,
Executive recruiter.
right? Potential is all you see. That's what you always see potential. You can see it where other people don't see it. You look at someone and you can see what their potential is, and that's a gift that lots of us don't have, but you have it. You can say. So it's for placement too. You can see where people would do really well, and so it's kind of that maybe in HR or coaching that you can sort of strategize.
You
Yeah.
go.
I don't know. And you like to see people grow, right? You like to see people sort of blossom and that mentoring piece. I don't know what it is. It's like he says you should make a list of all the people you helped learn and grow and remind yourself of all the effects you've had on the world. It was like if you're feeling bad, like that's what gives you
Oh, okay.
happiness, right? As a developer.
That's amazing because you have to answer answer these questions in 20 seconds. So you have to read it really fast and answer it.
It's a
for it to
course
come up
of-
with
That's
that.
why
So,
this is
but
such
it
a
says, this is
great-
when you're
it's a
working, right?
great
You should,
quiz.
people who are developers, which is you, and it's kind of maximizers, a little bit similar. You should look to these people when it's time to recognize your coworkers, because they will inherently be good at selecting achievements that deserve praise. And the people who receive it will know the praise is genuine. So like La Limas, you would be the perfect person to pick every single La Lima we have.
Good.
You would see
Done.
the potential of people.
No, not really, because it's couldn't really be true, because it has to be whoever's working with those individuals.
But you would see it though, potentially,
But the thing
right?
is, the whole other point about the data collection and being in the know, even if she's not directly working, Janice, even if you're not directly working with that person, you tend to know what's going on with everybody. It's true. Like you have a really good
You'll
pulse.
see
You
it.
have a very good pulse on what's
Yep.
happening in the membership.
And so we, on the rest of the team, we should be asking people who are developers like Janice to help us grow in our jobs or our chairships or whatever, because Janice will pick up on progress or what you need to do or sort of that support piece. You should be like, what can I do that's better? And she'll do it in a positive way. She'll be like,
She'll do it in a nice way that we won't be like, I hate that.
right. And then the
you
maximizer
wouldn't.
She's always
piece,
telling me what to do.
it's kind of similar, right? So the maximizer piece is often more about things than people. Like how do you fix broken things, or how do you make something work that's not working? Janice can see that where other people can't necessarily do that. Oh, I was gonna sort of see what this is. It says you polish pearls until they shine. You want quality. I think it's you're boring. Not at all. No, these are all strengths. They're all strengths and strengths. But again, maximizer and developer are quite similar in talks, but you should see goals. You should see goals where you help people in projects succeed, like coaching, managing, mentoring, and teaching, because that's what you just sort of inherently do.
Tell me
Okay,
how
we'll move on.
positive and wonderful I am.
So now we know about Janice.
Yeah, let's move on.
Yay!
Let's talk about everybody, though, right? So, okay. We got Janice's strengths. You were pegged pretty
I can't believe that you ladies knew that. That was in positivity.
Okay, so we were gonna move though into
Are we not gonna do somebody else?
No, I'm gonna scatter them out.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I see. So they'll be like,
This is
look
your
forward
fun
to
facts.
hear-
And try to
Fun
guess.
facts. You gotta guess your guess
Okay,
your
gotcha,
people.
gotcha. Now we actually gotta pay attention.
Yeah, it's
Time to work.
Time to work. Well, that was kind of work too, but okay. So we were going to talk about critical issues. This is sort of the natural next step into what we're doing. So Michelle kind of gave this nice summary of what are these issues. It's related to a core problem. It's going to affect our people or the community. Things we can address that we talked about, our weaknesses, our strengths, whatever it might be. So we started with one critical issue. Now this is the brain dump, or what are critical issues that we'll prioritize later, but we just want to get out. What are critical issues that this board, this organization, needs to address in order to move us ahead? We had one, right? Ooh.
So those are just examples. They're not the answers. They're just, what are some things that we need to talk about?
I think community issue or community impact, just clarifying, or that's one, and then definitely our membership retention and our membership engagement, both sustainer and active side.
You can take any of
I
these
mean,
notes.
out of,
I have horrible handwriting, so if you don't mind writing, yours is actually more legible than mine.
I mean, there are a lot of issues, but I
So
think
member retention.
member retention.
Are we
and-
trying to just narrow it down?
Yeah, just, we talked about the strengths and weaknesses, so yeah, just really get it clear, what are
Yeah.
the strategic issues?
I think retention is one, and then community impact is another.
Talk more about community impact. What do you mean?
More so clarification, I think, overall, either to, if we're gonna stick with empowering girls and women, how are we doing it through the 3 projects or 4 projects that we have? You said that some of our members feel like they have too many projects, but if we clearly said, Bella project is about empowering girls through self-esteem. My story is about empowering girls, you know, through self-esteem. It's like, it kind of, everything seems so separate instead of combined.
Cohesive.
Cohesive, yes.
And I think this is something that Lisa really focused on was like long-term, like our
Direct
branding and our,
Right.
everything should be together so that Junior League is an organization that does X, Y, and Z. And like everybody knows that
Right.
Yep.
if we pick the right
Right.
community projects.
And we could have all the projects in the world, but if we mention that, you know, this impact project is dealing with, you know, empowering women in a certain way, then for us, our elevator speech would be a lot easier. You know, we'd be like, we empower girls and women. These are our projects.
It all
Right.
ties together.
Yes.
So
Because right now, the way we talk about Junior League is, oh, we have My Story, we have
Right.
Kids in the Kitchen, we have, you know, Wahine Forum, we have Impact Honolulu.
But you always say what they are, though.
But the thing too is, as you say,
it should be
our-
we empower women and girls.
We empower women and girls
Through
through self-esteem.
yeah.
Girls through self-esteem. These are the two ways that we do it through through a 9-week self-esteem program, and then through a 1-day project where we help girls, you know, with prom or, you know, finding
Right.
dresses. I mean, right now, and it's very interesting to see on Facebook that Bella Project has 1,000 likes. Sax in the City has like 150. But there's still Junior League and Junior League of Honolulu only has like 80. But it's still
Right.
Junior League of Honolulu.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the thing that's really
Bella Project has an email list of 550 people.
right, and we don't have
Not the young girls.
Nope. And we
These
don't
are people who are genuinely interested in Bella Project.
But see, the thing too is if we said we are empowering girls and women. Girls through these 3 activities. Bella Project being one of them, My Story being one of them, but they all fall in the same thing. So we know that, hey, all of these people really, because they like Bella Project, they really want to empower young girls. Oh, did we tell you about our 9-week program that really focuses on 19 girls for 9 weeks, and we work one-on-one? Oh yeah. Oh, well, do you think you could give $100 for it?
Right.
You know?
Yeah, maybe if they're
But they-
actually giving something.
But see, we already know that they want to support girls because they donated dresses to
Right.
Bella. You know? So that's the thing that I feel like is one of the critical issues that we need to do is more about defining
the issue.
and actually showcasing how we are doing it.
Well, and I think measuring our effectiveness.
Yes.
How are we
Defining our
promotion too?
effectiveness.
Because
Right.
Bella Project, even my friend who goes to Central Union Church, she found out about it at her church
Right.
and brought it a dress. Well, she knew I was in the league and brought it to me.
Right.
So how can we promote My Story? So say these people that are on that mailing list get information about My Story.
But I think it's more so that we have to showcase that we're empowering young girls.
Is that our issue? I mean, I think this is
That's
what
our
Lisa
issue.
was trying to move us towards, and I think she often didn't communicate it as well as she could, that, you know, the leagues across the country are moving towards, this is what she often talks about, this issue-based community impact. It's not really
Yes.
called an issue-based community impact. It's like, what issue are you working on to have
Right.
community impact?
Right.
So it's like, struggle to
Trying to
unify,
unify.
that's an aside.
Yes.
Right, so like, is the issue that we are working on empowerment of women and girls? I mean, Lisa's take was, no, it's not. It should be, that's a real umbrella, but we should be picking a more concrete issue.
But it is.
It's just
I
like
know,
something that
I'm
we
putting out as a
discuss.
question, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That was the process she was trying to get. And then the idea, what leagues have been doing is that you are picking it, you're not looking at projects anymore. You
Yes.
look at an issue you are addressing for a specific length of time. And then you then are trying to address that issue, be it homeless, whatever, you know, that it is, through multiple projects or
Right.
multiple venues and everything, but you are focusing all your efforts in the league towards making an impact on that issue, right? As opposed to sort of projects, right? Sort of
Right.
starting up here, figuring out what's a problem, and then using our projects and resources to fix it.
Yeah.
So I mean, the question I've always had is, well, is the empowerment of women and girls an issue?
Or the
Just
issue.
like a
Or the
topic.
issue?
Yeah.
Or is it a
No,
topic,
it is
right?
an
Like, it's
issue.
not-
I
But, and then
honestly
it's a question of, the issue should be something where you can define and measure, so it
'Cause
gets
like-
back to that measurement piece.
Jennifer and I met with Allison Hellewagen, who's gonna be our external communications chair, and she has some really great ideas on this, and so,
Right.
and she was tying it in with being able to measure progress. People outside of, people in the league like to see progress, but also people outside. It ties in with bringing money, and people wanna be part of the organization, and we were just throwing around different ideas like homelessness, like abuse. She's like, how do you measure progress with
Right.
that? She's like, something like, and she gave us the example that I'm not gonna take credit for it, it's graduation rate. It's a
Right.
tangible number,
That's an issue.
that's an
Yes.
issue,
Right.
like, then, so say that we pick that, just for example, then we do all these things to
Right.
address that issue. We do kids in the kitchen, we help,
Or you don't do kids in the kitchen. I mean, that's the whole
Yeah,
thing.
right,
That's,
whatever,
that's the
yeah.
difficult thing that leagues elsewhere have gone through, right?
Right.
When you've picked an
Right.
issue, you're making a choice to
Right.
potentially start new programs or new initiatives that address that issue, and letting things that don't fit in that issue go, because
Right.
you're channeling to try to work on an issue. So if the issue is childhood obesity, then you keep kids
Right.
in the kitchen, and you add other things that are gonna address, you add your policy pieces to it, you focus your fundraising around, that this is, we're fundraising so we can address childhood obesity.
but it
We do
needs
other
to be
things
more
too.
specific.
Yeah.
It's more
Yeah.
specific, right? That's sort of what Lisa
Yes.
was trying to get at, is like, it's
Yeah.
up here, and it's all very scattered, and it's hard for us right now to measure impact because it is so in. But it is about choices, right, and how you communicate that to the rest of the league, that if we're making choices about
Right.
one issue, we might have to, we would like to let things go, like create new things to work
Yes.
on it, but they are, what if financial
Yeah.
literacy, Bella Project, Kids in the Kitchen, My Story, they're all.
But more so, if
That she's
anything,
scattered and
I-
not
well,
unified.
Right.
yeah. But
So
if
how do we say what
yeah.
we're doing?
If anything, just think about too what I would like us more so to as we communicate is not even to use these program names. It's more of, okay, Kids in the Kitchen, what are your activities that you're doing? My
Promote
story.
health and lifestyle, instead
Right.
of it's kids in the
And
kitchen.
who are they focusing on? It's like, well, you can use Kids in the Kitchen's profile and all of that, but if they're going to talk about mothers, well, that's a focus. If, My Story wants to continue, or even Bella Project wants to, I'm like, don't make it Bella Project. Make it, empowering, self-esteem of young girls, right? And every activity we do, no matter impact, no matter, Kids in the Kitchen, no matter My Story, is like,
How
look
to
at,
support
right.
that same
yes,
mission.
it's like, you can go into a funder and say, okay, not for helping the self-esteem of young girls, we're doing a 9-week program, we're doing a 1-day, dress up day, we're doing, several things, and they're gonna be amazed. They'll be amazed of the
Right.
amount of work we're doing for one topic. But, right now, but then it's also to be able to celebrate what we've done, but also sunset some of the things that need to be sunset.
So for the purpose of this discussion, can we just say that our strategic issuing to do is picking an issue, selection of key issues for
Yeah.
us to address?
I focus on key
Yeah.
community
Yes.
issues and what are the projects. But it also raises the question of, if we are actually going to be objective about it, we need some kind of criteria for what we sunset and what we actually
Right.
pursue.
Yes.
And the group at the board level needs to define that. So is it finances? Is it the number of girls that we touch in the community every year? That actually will help us decide, and you can justify to the general membership, this is why we're not doing Kids in the Kitchen anymore, because
Right.
X, X, and X.
Yeah.
So that, it's kind of a to-do, it's not necessarily a critical issue, but it's something that supports us getting to that point,
Yeah.
right?
And also, I feel like those programs that we are looking at sunsetting, if they can't figure out activities with our issues, then that's even more so that we should sunset them.
Right.
This is our issue. We're looking at, self-esteem of young girls and, this and this before we come up with a new topic. Because isn't PRD looking at new topics? Maybe.
Not really.
Right?
Not really.
Not really.
It's very
Again,
fuzzy. I mean, I think that's the
Yeah, I
issue.
think that was
And-
the problem we had with finding a chair for this PR&D committee, is because we didn't actually have a clear role. Remember we talked about clarification of roles and having that instruction manual? Originally, PR&D was supposed to narrow the focus down to one issue by doing some research and picking the top 3. Also, it kind of morphed into, well, can you also evaluate our current projects and give us a matrix for evaluating that? And then it
That's
also
what we
moved.
There was program appraisal.
Right.
And we voted to like get rid of
And
basically
And
everything.
then also, it morphed
Everything got
into,
sunset.
can you also find us new projects to do?
Right.
So it was kind of all over
'Cause
the
how
place.
long-
And
how
then
long
now where it
It
sits
gets to
is,
this critical issue though, are we looking at
Right.
projects or an issue, right? It's like
Yeah.
this level
yeah,
or
we
this
didn't know.
level?
We were interchanging.
very
the words,
confusing,
Let me-
right?
let me
So
just- sorry, I just asked a
all over
question.
the place.
How long has empowering girls and women been? our topic?
It's been since 3 years. Because it used to be family strengthening, and then during Kimberly Frank's presidency, we would have small roundtable discussions at GMMs, and we voted on it during Kimberly Frank's year.
Now-
But that is so broad. I think if you look at the membership survey and things, people talk about what's our Hale Kipa, what's our
Right.
Iolani
Palace.
Palace, right?
Right.
Where people want to say, I did,
This,
I was part of something that did.
I created.
And are we able to say, do we
Project
empower
Grad.
girls and women, right? So,
Yeah.
I-
just.
I don't know, am I part of the league? I don't know that I could walk away being like,
Right.
the last 3 years, I really helped empower
Right.
girls and women. I don't know. But for now, I mean, I was getting the weeds on this,
Yeah.
right? But if this
So
is,
retention.
should we add other things to this?
And then is it
So I have
communication?
start retention, defining how we're different, branding piece, measuring how we're doing, and then the key areas or key focus areas for community issues.
And then
Can we move them? I'm having a hard time seeing.
Oh, yeah.
Like, can we just regroup or something?
And what about communication?
So
Do we have anything?
streamlining effective communication.
Is that part of the PR
Well,
or communicating with our leads?
I think
Senators and fire.
I know.
They're busily
What are
taking their
issues
quiz.
What are
Maybe it has to do with their strengths, they're probably listening.
Processing.
The board,
You're so-
right?
you're
The
so
board should
positive.
work on the following this year, and if we did this, we'd have a successful board here. I think that probably should. What was it?
The numerous.
The community issue?
Well, from here.
Well, they're all important. I know, but
We can't tackle
there's
everything.
only so many hours in a day and so many days in our board year.
Well, I think if we do, like if we have project appraisal, again, originally project appraisal,
Let's do it.
okay.
The critical
As far
issues
as
that you
narrowing.
feel, and then,
Okay.
Yeah.
because that's what we're doing.
Then we'll talk about how to address
Yeah,
them, right?
right.
Yeah,
Then we'll
but let's
tell
just
which
get out,
company
needs
like,
to do
what
it.
are the really pressing issues that this board should focus on this year?
Right.
That's the question.
Narrowing the issues.
Because community issues is definitely for us getting new members, and then also the thing with communication is retention. You know, celebrating why you're a member, showcasing, you know, all the stuff that we've talked about in regards to giving badges for your training. I mean, it's really communicating to our active membership, what are you learning? What are you getting from the league? So, I don't know, internal communication? I don't know, sorry, I'm just keep talking. It's because I'm
Okay,
keep
so,
thinking.
so I'm gonna ask you all, if we are successful in this year, and we, at the end of the year, said we fully address, because this is kind of broad still, community issues, what would be different than it is now?
We would have a specific issue that we wanna tackle, not
Okay.
women
Can
and
you show us
children.
minutes? So we would have we would call it success if we picked a specific issue that the league is tackling.
And hope, maybe, I don't know if this is too much, like them coming up with projects that support
That issue.
that issue.
Okay.
Or at least have it in process where here are several ideas that we
Okay.
can, how we can address that issue.
And if at the end of this year we did you saw that, you would say success. We tackled the community issues. Okay.
Good.
For anyone else in the room, is it different? Like what? And it's, I want to be concrete. Like what? If
So
you woke
we-
up tomorrow and we fixed it, what looks different, right?
100% memories.
I love it.
Look,
My toddler is just starting to raise his hand. This
Oh.
morning, this morning he
I
raised
went to
his hand and
school in
said,
the
"More milk,
1950s."
Mama." And I was like, "Did Julia raise her hand at school?" He says, "Yes, you raise hand, want milk." Like, I was like, "Okay."
Brayden would just say, get me more milk.
No, he's never raised his hand until this morning at
Or you
breakfast.
say,
So.
here's the
But he
deal,
learned
get
it
me
through
more
Laura.
milk.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Raise your hand, Laura. Yeah.
It's a 50s retro thing.
Yeah.
What I would say would be success is 100% membership buy-in on those community activities.
Okay, so that's another piece. This is, I'm trying to look at like tangibly. If our board tackles this problem, really, okay, 100%, the members are bought in on the issue and they're bought in on the
Yeah,
process.
we haven't got 20% doing the
So we
project.
do it for the process side too.
We got
the buy-in.
everybody going to those
Okay.
projects.
So we gotta work the process to get us to that point.
They
Yeah.
would not have to worry at the end of the year how they're gonna do their ways and means, because they have been so motivated all year that they have
Interesting.
got that, they're
They
on
got
top of that.
80,000 points.
Bingo.
And definitely, yeah.
Well, okay, 800.
Yeah. Mine would be the same way is that the active membership would be able to say, what are community issues and that they participated, and two, why they are in the league and what are they getting out of it.
Is that a community issue or is that our membership?
That's both. That's
Is that our membership
That's
issue?
a membership. But I mean, as you said, if that is the, you know, the monitor of success, is you pick any active members like, oh, so what are our community issues? And they're like, oh, our community issues are blah, blah, blah. What are you getting out of the league? I get this, this, this.
Okay.
But before we do that, we have to pick our issue.
Yes, but I mean, but that's really
Okay.
what I would see as a success for
Okay.
us. Because if you think about it, it's either one or the other for every member. It's either, oh, I love the league because of the friends that I've made and da 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 da, or the other side is, I love the league because we have this great project that I'm
We
making
made a difference in
Yes.
This.
this.
but it's never the two
Yeah.
together.
Okay. So
Which
the balance.
is the balance. I mean, ideally that's what
Sarah, what about you?
No, I agree. I agree with the issue. Just from looking at the results from the survey, people feel our projects are trite, don't really have any value or impact. Like, yeah, we do my story, but where are they a year from now? Like, have you followed up? What kind of impact do we actually have in these girls'
Are we
lives?
making any difference?
Yeah. I think they feel like it's kind of shallow. So I would say finding a good issue that people are passionate about.
But I'm curious if those people that say that if they've ever even been involved in my story. Because that's the thing, when you actually are involved, but we don't follow
But
up.
we don't
And I
show-
wish we did
Yeah.
follow up.
But the other thing too is we don't showcase. We don't open my story up for any member to come in. And this last session was the only one where we had members who weren't part of the committee actually coming in and going, oh my gosh, you know,
That
I
was
just
so
sat next to this
fun,
little
yeah.
girl and she just told me that she doesn't have any dreams. You know, and
Right.
this is a member just being like,
Right.
how can you be in 7th grade and have no
And yet, we had so few people sign up, we had an
Right.
issue placing people on My Story.
Right, but even placing for my
People
story.
don't want to
Yeah.
sit on the My Story committee.
But that she wasn't in the My Story committee. She came.
No,
to-
I'm just
yeah.
saying, right? That's, to me, when I look
Yeah.
at, that's an issue.
It
That
is
we
an
have
issue.
2 people in the league saying that they wanna be on
Yeah.
My Story next year.
I already have
For
an
whatever
issue with that.
reasons, right?
I've
For-
talked to the My Story chairs being like, why are you so dependent on our committee members to be? Why not go to UH and be like, hey?
Get your practicum requirements fulfilled
Right.
by
Coming to facilitate.
acting as our facilitator for
Okay.
our story.
So, okay, anything else that's community issue? Can you restate what we said, Michelle, just so we have like,
Let me just capture that, leveraging other resources.
Because our numbers are so small, we're in a situation now that we should be doing more of that. Just for the reality of what our league is right now. That might change after this
Right.
year or maybe
Uh-huh.
3 years from now.
Right.
But right now, we need to be really akamai about leveraging outside resources and partnerships to relieve the stress
Yeah.
and the pressure that we're feeling for these particular deliverables.
Can I bring up a point though about leveraging resources, even if we had a ton of people,
Yeah.
we ought to be doing that. Because as outside resources connect to other resources in the community. And if the league is in a functional way, I think I hear people saying, we want to be the hub.
Yeah.
And all of these different things we connect with
Yeah.
just strengthen the league's ability to accomplish its mission.
Yeah.
And learning how to leverage resources might be one of those training badges.
Yeah. There you go.
So as you were asking me to kind of summarize, I think that we're struggling because as I look at this list of things, these are all tactics.
Yep.
Streamlining effective communication, focusing on whatever the issues are. What we're really wrestling with, or what we need to figure out, are the big buckets. Back to Deb's point earlier, it's like when I think about healthcare, we have pillars, so quality, service, safety, finance, right? And everything, all the tactics fit underneath those big pillars, and that's kind of what I'm hearing we need to kind of shift to. And all of these things would be addressed under those pillars, whatever the pillars are. But that's kind of where we need to get to. So is it, I don't know, pick the pillar, but.
So the pillar isn't finding an issue, is that what you're saying? That's more of a tactic?
Yeah, finding the issue is a tactic, but is it, what was the example you used? Reducing homelessness. That would be a pillar, and then everything underneath that would support it in terms of an initiative or a tactic that our committees would take on.
So that's the, coming up with the issue that we wanna.
Because we could do issues if you wanted to do issues,
It's like,
but then the question becomes,
so like
can we
the
today?
graduation rate.
Well, but that's not even us as a board, we don't do that. So our sense is,
Right, this is
our
the
critical
governance group,
issue
right?
is
Yes.
community impact. Because the tactics go into how do we come up with our community impact.
Do we have to like come up with stuff and then the membership votes on it, or can we just say that this is what we as a board agree is gonna be our.
unclear.
It's a,
But do we take that to PR&D, or do we, how does that work?
with, isn't,
Okay, so if I understand it correctly, we would be the governance group that sort of selects the criteria, and then we allow the committee to do the job, PR&D and project appraisal, to do their job, to then present the options. The options then go to membership for vote, at which point we, establish our quorum, we, have the vote. It's in our records now that this vote has occurred, and the result of this vote is.
So then,
Can we
so
put-
a
sorry.
time frame that
Right.
would take
That's an issue.
yeah,
a
that's
long
a really,
time.
yeah.
Well, that's why I
Can-
put down as one of the issues
Can-
is defining.
And we should rename it issue.
Because if
Can-
that's the case, like
Yeah.
that would probably take the whole
May I-
year.
Is it really,
Potentially.
is it really an issue that we define, like that PR does, or PR&D does, or is it the topic that they research on? Because the issue,
Restate that?
so the topic that we have currently is empowering girls and women. That's our topic. That's what PR&D did their research for. They came up with several. We voted on that topic, right? Then we said, hey, impact. This is the topic. You need to do activities for that. Do we really need to have PR&D work on issue,
Yeah.
like the actual issue?
Well, this is a question, right? This is the process Lisa started, is that the issue you're picking is sort of the layer below
Right.
empowerment of women and girls.
Right, but does PR&D need to do that, or can that come from a board decision? This is the way we
That
are
is not entirely clear.
Okay, because then really with us having already 3 years of empowering girls and women, maybe what we really, and we need to see the change. And knowing that sunset means some of our programs are gonna take about 2 years, that they might need to look at another topic. Because we know definitely for sure that PR&D does that. They do topic research, right? They go out into the community, they find out the topic, they tell us what their topic is. I'm just wondering who does the issue side? Who does that?
It says here under section 4, like, point C, priority issues, focus areas. The league shall identify priority community issues on which to focus the league's financial and volunteer resources. These issues shall be known as the league's focus areas and shall be subject to membership approval. The focus areas shall be reviewed periodically by the community vice president and her cluster to evaluate the community need, the interests of membership, and the appropriateness of matching league resources to that community need. So then,
Okay, so it really doesn't have to be,
Go for PRD.
PR&D doesn't have to spend the whole year researching
well,
the issue.
it goes on, well, you're right, because the only reason why PRD and project appraisal would get involved is if we're talking about a specific project.
Program or project,
Right.
right?
Program or
The more
project.
micro, but Lisa this last year had tasked them with trying to find.
Right.
And,
Right, so
and
that's.
PRD is not necessarily a standing thing,
Right.
it happens every year,
Right.
right? So,
I
Does
mean,
that mean it's more appropriate to come up with our issue and then have
So, I
PRD find the
Maybe,
projects
you know
that
what,
come
it
up?
and
says-
the question
there's
was, I
nothing
think
that
Lisa's
says
thinking
we
was
can't
PRD
just
was trying to figure out
choose
the
it.
issue.
This weekend,
That's
you know what
so-
I mean?
If we just come up
it
with the
doesn't say
issue and
that,
then
right?
they
It says,
come up with
yeah,
projects
I mean,
that
tomorrow we
support-
can get Janice and her community chairs to talk about it. I think this is the issue that
Yeah, this is the issue, Janice, and then
I
they say,
tell
yeah,
her,
yeah, and then we say, great,
the
done,
community
right?
VP and her chairs all say this is our issue, you know, based
Oh,
on.
Carly's gonna be here.
Choosing a
She's
Yeah.
the
But,
chair
I
from
mean-
PRD, right?
Yeah, but
No,
what
I
it
mean,
says
I
is
just wanna
that
make sure.
really, it
I
doesn't
wanna
have to be
just
make
Carly.
sure under
It
the-
can
No,
be
and these have been
under
some of, I think,
Yeah,
everyday
but
discussions
she's
is
under
how do we,
the-
process
So
wise,
it
how do we
might
get to
just
the
be
point where
more
we're not
to-
just talking about fixing an
Right,
issue?
and then that we're spending, a committee spending a whole year doing something and then finding out that,
Or 4 years,
Or
the way it
4
was
years.
envisioned
Well,
last
yeah,
year.
well,
We can
that's
take
where
4 years
our
to-
weakness is bureaucracy, cause
Right.
we have members, that have been saying, we don't need to spend a whole year
right.
Trying to
talking about it and researching it
And can
and
you imagine
voting on it.
PR&D, how the committee would feel if they're tasked with finding a new topic?
It's overwhelming.
But it's overwhelming, but it's
Right.
meaningful. Because
Right.
it's 3 years or 3 to 5 years of what the league is going to focus on.
Okay.
You know, instead
Should
of
we maybe take a minute now, since we are here, it's getting a little bit less into strategic issues, but since we're on the topic, to talk about the criteria for that, or what it looks like?
Yeah, I
Taking
think
us a
we-
little bit off, I mean, I don't know if we
Yeah.
should parking lot it, so that we can give
Yeah.
appropriate direction
Sorry.
to Janice and her team.
well, I mean,
I want to offer before we close the topic, so kind of how we started the day where Jennifer was talking about weighing the 3 things, right? As I look back at the brainstorm that happened earlier, there are kind of 3 themes that jump out at me actually. So in terms of pillars, and that would be growth. So we talked about membership and retention. We talked about developing our current members as well as leveraging the assets that new members bring in. And then finance, because we need to make sure that we can actually continue to be sustainable. And so I don't know if we can bucket things underneath that cleanly, but it actually brings it back up here at the board level as opposed to the tactics that we talk, because all these things fall under one of those. And it just depends on the board's operational definition of those 3 things.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay, give us your buckets again, should we like that?
growth, development, and finance. And you can change
Yeah,
them, but
yeah.
you know, let's have some dialogue.
my only thing with finance is that, you know, what we've talked about in regards to the budget issue, like our budget and where we are financially. If finance is an issue, we always feel like we're in this desperate situation that we don't have money. And the reality is we do have money, right? So I don't know if we want to, for this league year, to put finance as one of our columns, because the
That's fair.
growth and the development
It
will,
hasn't come up as a big issue.
Yeah.
No one said we're broke.
yeah.
But you know what I like about having finance up there is with our main topic, if you look at finance and promoting our
Right.
fundraiser,
Right.
if you I think that's really important, because when you go out and try to get
Right.
the money and try to get people
Yes.
involved in SACs,
Right.
then I think that's really important to say, especially how you
Right.
explain what we do, and not say my story and kids in the kitchen, but explain exactly what we're, so I don't look at it finance in a bad way that we need money.
Yeah.
I look at it as
No.
it's
No, I don't
And I think, just to
Yeah.
restate, I think her position is, it's important, but it's fine right now, so we don't need to address it.
yeah, that's not gonna be one of our 3 things
It's,
for the year.
it's not
Yeah.
a critical issue for the, it's, cause it's going well, right? We
Yeah.
don't, there's not a
We're not
problem
gonna
with our
stop.
finances, it's going well, so the board doesn't need to expend energy talking about, we'd be having a different conversation if we were bankrupt,
Yeah.
right? Then it would be a critical issue for the survival of the organization.
But it's still not a pillar, it wouldn't
No,
be,
I
because
don't-
it's
I
part
don't
of
think
our
it
could be a
fundraising.
pillar.
Maybe just not for this year.
Oh,
But
okay.
it's not to say it's not important for the whole thing, but it's not something that we need to address right now, because it's going well, the committees are
Because we
doing
have
well,
to pick and
everything's.
choose our battles, you know.
Right? So
Okay.
why would we spend a lot of time trying to figure out and problem solve? and-
Okay.
Why are we
And-
trying to raise more money when we already have, when we know there are other bigger issues that as a board we should be
Right.
tackling?
We would be putting it up there if we said Saxon the City is a horrible failure, and it's about urgency, right? Our urgent need that we need to work on is, we need committees to be figuring out new fund development this year. And at the end of this year, we need to come out with a new fundraiser, or we're closing our doors, or whatever it was, right? But it's okay, right? It's, it sounds like people are saying, fund development's important, but why would we spend a lot of time talking about it? Like,
Oh, okay. Because I see it differently, I guess,
No, no,
but
no, so-
maybe it's only because the way I'm seeing, because I think of it as that fund development is such an important part of our league to keep us going, even if we're not struggling. So I'm gonna really push community because and the fund development, because fund development keeps the community going. And I don't know, so part of me
No,
thinks,
no.
I just see it as a pillar. But I guess maybe it doesn't have to be the top 3, but that's what I'm seeing it as, you know, when you look
Yeah.
at our league structure.
it is a pillar of the league, I think. I think her point is more that
It's
it's
not
one of those
one of the
wildly
3
important
topics.
things that, but we must work on.
Like at the end of the year, what do we wanna say
Yeah.
we accomplished, or what do we do as a board? That's kind of what I thought we were.
Yeah.
I think
But
it's
Michelle's
a matter of
gonna
choosing.
sorry,
making
chime in and help
choices.
this
Yeah.
random
we can't do it.
facilitation, this,
We
yeah.
can't.
Hey, you should be celebrating this, because then there's less pressure on you on Saxon
know,
City. Right, why are you
And
telling
this
me
is
it's
finance, you know, and this is
Finance.
funny for me too, because I'm a big finance
Yeah,
geek.
Fundraiser.
I mean, one of the things
Yeah.
that I love to do is like come in and raise a boatload of money.
right.
I mean, like you, and I got excited when I heard her talking more about, we're gonna start this major gifts campaign. I'm like, yeah.
And we still
and
are. And,
You
and
still
that's
are, but it doesn't have to be.
It's going already
But it's
though, right?
going-
It's
it's
good,
good.
it's under
Totally.
control,
Totally.
it's happening, and
Whereas
it's good.
these are more
They
urgent
require, we need
issues
to figure out, they require
that
decisions
They need to be
and-
figured out this year,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, then will that change, because I know a few people were not very happy with us starting at a negative budget. Is that gonna change that if it's not
No,
gonna,
because
or
we've already
does
voted
it?
for the budget.
It might change some of our language in terms of, you know, communicating again to people
to
how
please
our,
come back,
well,
right.
how our finances are.
Yeah.
We're actually a financially healthy organization. However, we do have to address these other issues according to the data we've collected through our surveys and through our conversations and through our strategic planning process, that we need to hone in on a single issue.
Because if you look at,
If you don't, where does that leave us, Janice?
Okay.
Where does that leave us?
Still
We are
stretched at all sides,
there.
okay.
unhappy members,
because if you, yeah,
unsatisfied, you're not listening to me,
Right.
I told you, you know, we're risking
Yeah.
some pretty big,
yeah. Because right now, 50% of our budget really, no, I would say 40 from SACs. The other 50% is from membership,
Yep.
membership dues.
Right.
So SACs, we know is gonna do fine next year. But we know definitely our membership is not
Dues.
paying their dues.
Which is actually supposed to cover most of
Right.
our operating expenses.
So-
Okay.
That's why I feel like, you know, as stressful as SACs was last year, knowing, being part of it and doing it and knowing the success of it,
What are your thoughts?
SACs is going to be fine. But are we gonna keep the members that we have? Are they gonna pay their dues now? You know, we're already struggling with them paying their dues before the league year starts. And so, you know,
I actually wanted to offer a suggestion instead of finance, because I think we're getting cut up on the operational definition of what that means, if it's money or whatever. What if we actually called it sustainability? And then it actually becomes inclusive of fundraising and
That's
some
a
of the
good
other
one.
things, because we also, I think this is really key, and I didn't know how to describe this or where it went, but membership satisfaction we talked about.
Membership happiness.
Happiness,
Yeah.
right? So how do we account for that? It's not necessarily development, it's not growth, but it has to be somewhere in there, because that's the motivation for why we do what we do in the league, right?
Yeah.
So how do we account for that? We could actually bucket that under sustainability along with a finance piece.
Yeah, because I think some people leave the league, you know, because it's, I don't know what I'm paying these dues for.
Right.
I'm not really
So
happy.
are people okay doing a sustainability?
yeah.
Yeah,
that's
for now,
and
we're
that's-
just brainstorming.
And that's resource development in money. I think resource development is a good one too, because it's resource in money and resource in
Right.
people and members.
Labor, yeah.
Right. I mean, and then
So
we're
that,
changing-
and then member satisfaction,
Right.
financial viability, all falls under those pillars.
messaging the community, because we
And we've
know
said the
there's
financial
always somebody
viability
else.
is going okay, the membership satisfaction maybe not so much, and we need to look at, what do we do to? So wait, are we taking down development? No.
We left it up here because under development, we have things like engaging mentors and sustainers,
Okay,
the
okay.
mentoring, connectivity, we talked about vice chairs and succession planning.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's some continuity by grouping them all under development. I mean, I think this is not exhaustive at all, it's definitely still a work in progress, but it's starting to actually put things in specific columns that we could work with.
And now on top of that, we put leadership, empowerment, and what's the I?
Inspiration.
Okay.
There we go, Jen.
I don't know, what do you guys think?
I like it.
Yeah.
Just as a start, I mean, this definitely.
This is looking really good, you guys.
And then, okay, we were in our brainstorming, so other critical issues, we got kind of sucked into more of like, you know,
The weeds, but
the
yeah, we're
weeds, but
coming back up
let's
with
like
some bigger groups.
come back up to some of the other real strategic issues that this board needs to focus on.
I like these three.
Is this everything?
So a couple other observations about this grouping. I think definitely there's some tactics that come into that weed area that we'll have to pull out of there. But it does give us kind of a good place to go with tomorrow's group, right? The committee chairs. Because we wanted to do a recap for them, what the board talked about and decided here in this group, and then we want them to actually develop their SMART goals based on that, which
I
gets
like
to
it.
them measurable, attainable, time-bound, et cetera, that we could put into a plan. Is there stuff missing as we're looking at this further?
Well, you know, basically, to me, under sustainability come all the strengths of the league.
Yeah.
And then, of course, development, ties in with a lot of what we said about weaknesses and, even opportunities and growth. Also ties to weaknesses and possibly even threats. So it's a nice umbrella, because sustainability is they're all positive words in many ways, they have positive connotations. And that's that's the inspiration piece of lay. And then, yet, each of these are addressing the concerns that have been reflected through the member surveys. And the leadership decisions that the board has to face with regard to limited resources.
So some of these are tactics, some of these are principles, like operating principles, which is why it's kind of like a big
Hodgepodge.
dump,
I wonder
but
if we can
yeah, let's try to
jigger.
organize this a little bit.
like some of these are like
Maybe if you put
more
like
operating principles than.
So if you have buy-in on issues and you have members that can articulate why they're in the lead, we're assuming that actually improves or increases membership satisfaction somehow, right?
yeah.
Or that's a marker of success, right? That's what you were talking about earlier.
So could that be our post-it instead? What did you just say? Increased membership
The membership satisfaction.
satisfaction?
Focus, right? That would be kind
I mean, these are like subs, right? I'm trying to think
Yeah.
what's the
Yeah.
broad piece. So
of, yeah,
maybe our,
put those
so
together.
increased membership
Yeah.
satisfaction.
How about we make it a little chart?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. So we could really pick like what's the most
Yeah.
critical thing. Okay, so we'd have one thing is increased membership satisfaction.
Yeah.
That would be potentially one critical issue for the year. And underneath that, that would be, we would see buy-in on the issues, we'd see members able to articulate why they're in the league. What else is up here that we'd see? If we increase membership satisfaction, what else would we see? Anything else? What's up here?
Retention.
Increased retention, yeah.
Where's that?
So, this piece
Okay.
as a marker of success, right?
We'd see increase, we'd see next year we would not be doing the ridiculous calls we're doing of pay your dues, makes, okay? So these, and are people okay clustering these under this umbrella? Okay, what's another umbrella that's up here? Sorry, I'm like weird.
I know it's
reading.
hard to.
What's
What
another
about,
umbrella one?
I don't know, succession planning seems to be kind of a big thing, that I could see other things.
Well, there's
Looking at
long board appointment, yeah, there's a grouping on that, right? There's,
Yeah.
I see succession planning and board appointment. But is succession planning the thing?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Is that the
asking.
umbrella? What's the umbrella over these
I
things?
think it is succession.
So that whole idea of longer board appointment, succession planning,
Vice
VPs
chairs.
potentially, vice chairs, what's the header?
Sustainability.
No, it's more development.
Is it
That's gonna help
development?
us sustain ourselves as an organization though, right?
Yeah.
Well, maybe it comes under the sustainability, but what's the, like, this header? Is it,
But right now, I feel like it really-
Leadership?
So do we need another, a leadership
I wish these were
track?
different colors. Can I get a different color actually?
What is
hard for me to
membership
see it this way.
happiness?
Here, use yellow.
Okay.
Well, we did that.
Continuity,
So I'm gonna do-
it's, continuity, it's
I'm gonna use a bigger one.
Transition?
Transition.
change management, it's
Change, I just need a,
I love continuity.
not a big pink one. You want to give me black marker? No, dark, some dark. I'm just rewriting this. Continuity. Okay, well, we'll sit on it. How about that? Nothing's
I know, we're
happening.
not even done with dinner.
Deb, you're the one that wanted chips and I've eaten half of them myself.
Oh, I ate a whole lot.
she's sneaky like that.
This needs to go away. I need to just have another piece of gum so
But-
my mouth is occupied.
But,
I'm gonna be like.
but,
We'll come up with like, let's move on. Somebody will come up with the right words. So
Okay.
I'm doing the like these pieces underneath. So.
So for succession planning, what did we want to call that? Is
We
that?
don't know.
Well,
That was
can we-
already-
Okay.
sorry.
Hands
Can I
up.
hands up?
Yeah, yeah.
I honestly feel we should put that piece under development because we don't have it yet. So we still need to go through the process of
We
getting
have
the.
vice chairs.
I know, but more the longer board.
Oh, over here.
Yeah,
You,
because
okay.
we need to. Well, yeah, we do have the vice
Not under
chair.
sustainability.
It is part of it, but I feel like we haven't gotten the new members and even the active members to think about vice chairing. Like they already know I want to be a vice chair. I want to go into this. It's like please be a vice chair. You know, it's still begging.
Yeah.
I really feel like for it to be sustainable, it needs to be that people want to
Want
go
to
into
do
that stage. So we
Okay.
haven't developed it enough to get it to be. I really want to be a vice chair.
All right.
Yeah,
well,
we're still
let's-
asking people as opposed to people
Clamoring.
clamoring in that competitive process you talked
Which just should be part
about.
of like the leadership development process, like
Yeah.
it'd be, that's
But-
the norm.
Yeah, and
Okay.
that, but I feel like we have to, as the board, look at and challenge our committees to come up with
Yep. Okay.
the
How about this?
process.
Let's let this one lie for a
Okay,
minute. 'Cause
sorry.
it sounds like we're getting stuck on
Okay.
it. What about this community
Issues.
issue piece? Is that
Well,
Is that its own thing? Choose a
Yeah.
community issue?
yeah. Or are we moving to coming up with a new topic already?
I don't know, I'm asking. It's
I
a
don't know.
question.
Are we challenging the membership to come up with it?
I think so.
Is it time for us to come up with a new topic?
Topic or issue, I mean, right, this is
Right.
all that clarity of what the hell do we do?
I
So-
think issue.
Choose,
An issue.
and maybe we choose all that this year, maybe, I
How
mean,
about our community impact? That's topic, that's issue, that's activities, that's project.
everything.
That's everything.
It's our
community,
impact.
Choose community impact.
right, under development.
And it's something specific.
And we don't have to talk about it today, right, but I'm saying at the end of the year, these are the things that we're gonna say, in our board year, right,
We accomplished.
we increase member satisfaction.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And we can demonstrate that, there's tactics we tried, right? But we could say we did that through, and maybe it's committees that are doing that or whatever, but we have to own it as the governance structure, right? Okay, so at the end of the year, we're going to have chosen a community impact.
Mm-hmm.
Where does that go, one of those three pillars? Development?
Development or
Growth?
sustainability?
I'm struggling with the green ones.
I think development. My
Okay.
my whole thing is about the process. It will go, you know. Let's talk to the. Let's talk. Hey, do you know what PNRD does? PNRD? No, I don't.
Okay, are there any other,
This is repetitive, so it's the same thing. I'll just take this off.
You can put community.
this was on,
issues.
I'm gonna move this, this was on leveraging resources. What was that,
Where's the
choose community impact, sorry, that's my
Oh no, yeah.
slash
Impact.
issue?
No. The impact is it, but where's the community issue part? Where's that posted? That said community.
She just took it down, it's in her hand,
You
I
can
think.
put it underneath that one, because that is a tactic.
And this gets at define how we're different, how we measure things, how are we empowering
Yeah.
girls, pick our community issue, collaboration, right?
Yeah.
Potentially, comes under those things. Yeesh. Okay. Skill building through, I'm like moving, skill building through projects, is that under member satisfaction?
Well, what do we have under growth?
Development,
I don't know.
training thing.
Will that?
Is that an increased member training? Is that its own purple?
Is that on the growth? I think so. On the growth side?
Okay, no, okay, maybe it goes over there, I just can't
Oh,
reach
yeah.
that far. But is it a purple thing, increased member or is it under satisfaction, or is training its own thing?
I think training should be its own thing.
Yeah.
Own thing?
Yeah.
So by the end of the year, we're gonna work at figuring out a system to, what do we say?
But define training for the league.
Well, it's the JLU, the junior
Well,
league
but it's
university.
Or not,
Or it doesn't. It's just
Okay.
defining the training that you get from the junior league. of
Isn't
Farmers.
that under sustainability
No.
and increasing membership satisfaction?
No.
Well, I mean, that's my question.
Because that's also growth. That's how we're getting more members to come too, right? So not only are they staying, yes, sustainability,
They're
but
coming.
Because they want to change.
they want to, and then the growth side becomes the members who are in want to go into the leadership roles. They want to, so
This is
it's
when you're talking
growing.
about nonprofit
I feel
university
like,
and a curriculum.
Development. But it's more
It is
defining
development
it.
too, because we don't have.
Defining
So-
it, developing
But
it,
I
we can pick
feel
our.
like it's more out of. I mean, the three kind of like
Overlap.
They're definitely
Overlap.
interrelated, actually.
yes,
Yeah.
they are.
Okay, which is why I'm kind of thinking about the purple things, which are a little bit more concrete than our pillars. So define / develop member training. And we want that under growth or
Development.
development? Okay. We have this hook, so you know, things are not necessarily lower.
And then
Okay, so define, develop member training.
and then we have that something about strengths and weaknesses.
This is assess new member strengths for targeted placement. Is that under training? Or no?
I would.
I don't know.
What was it again? What's the bullet?
This is assess new member strengths for placement.
Yeah, because then we'd be like, you know, you're very good at this, so
Be good at this.
Could
You
you be
might
on
want
this, or
to-
do you want more training in
on
this, or how do we help
right.
you succeed in this? Okay. Acknowledge and appreciate individual contributions.
That's satisfaction.
Member satisfaction, okay, I'm okay with that. PR of key member strengths, branding.
It's more like a sustainability thing. It's almost like an infrastructure piece, right? It's like if you have the right content in your community issues, etc., you're gonna strengthen that with appropriate.
So what's the
PR.
purple thing? Is that part of get new members the purple thing? Increase the number of members? I mean, it's up at the top, right?
Yeah.
Can we change it to?
well, as in our.
No, I think it's still attached.
No, I think that's still, yeah,
Is it attached to something else?
for our growth. So how do we continue to grow? It is to get new members.
And why do we need to grow? Why aren't we happy with just 84? Why don't we just stay at 84? We're
Right.
small, we're mighty, we're intimate, we don't want to get too big, then
Then we-
people get lost.
Then
and
we need to
we
cut
just
our
more
programs.
community
It'd
impact
be very
if we're
different if we
bigger.
had 84 active members. But we
Really
have,
active members.
You know, like we have 20, 30.
Okay, so the
active
reason,
members.
so then again, the reason to have more members is because
Then maybe it's not more members, it's more engagement.
engagement.
members.
So yeah, why not stay at
Member
84?
satisfaction
So
then?
that means the new member committee can just sip cocktails for the rest of the year, they don't have to do anything.
They just know they
Except,
What's our turnover though?
except they gotta make the existing people really happy
Stay.
and really stay
So
and
this
get
is-
involved.
I'm adding here,
We have to
member
make
satisfaction
sure
retention.
that the people who that come into the new member class stay for 3 years.
Why not 6? Why not
6 years.
30?
Okay,
you
well,
know?
hopefully they're still around.
Well, the thing is, you always have to have new members come
Why?
in because you have members becoming sustainers
But
and you have people moving away.
Mhm.
but if
Yeah.
we engage everybody, a lot more of us will stay active instead of, oh wait, yay, I get to go into
But
sustainability.
I think, Janice, it's just like
Yeah,
the fun
yeah.
development piece from our earlier SWAT. Getting new members in the door is not a big problem right now,
It's keeping them.
right?
Right.
It's important,
Yeah.
it's
Right.
important, but it's going well, right? That's going well, just like
Yeah.
fun development, Saks has been going well, so it doesn't need a lot of attention, because we're getting a lot of new members in right now. It's going, new members have been doing a great job, it's a great model. The critical issue is this retention piece, right?
Yeah.
This is
That's
almost
what we
like the
need to
problem areas, I mean, not to
fix.
say that, right? So it's like, what do we need to fix? Because or we can think about how do we why are things that are going well, and how do we bring that to the things, how do we build that up even more and
Yeah.
address it, but. Okay. I have a sticky note in my hand that says, meeting the needs of varying/diverse demographics, is that a member satisfaction
Yeah.
and retention?
And then that streamlining effective communication will be also under satisfaction. That
Where is
star on the bottom.
This one?
Yeah.
Internal communication?
I feel
If we
like-
streamline effective internal communication, we'll have happier
Better
members?
satisfaction.
Okay.
But some of these things can go in the different areas,
Yeah,
right? They
I
don't
mean,
just.
It's gonna all be great. I think everything that we do
Demonstrating the
better.
value
Well,
of
the
junior
clearer
league.
we can be, the
But
more
still.
we look like superstars to the people that come
Demonstrating
to our
value, is that member to our members or was this
Like, man,
community?
they know
I can't
their
remember why
stuff
this one.
I
together.
think that one was
I mean, there's
external.
something it will.
So that goes
Yeah.
along
For
with
us,
the
yes, it
whole
will.
building
PR.
of,
Things that we're doing.
well, no, it's more along
Hey,
the conversation of
Listen, you might get to
nonprofit
relax
university.
this year.
I
Right.
Five
Why are we
communications
important and
and-
different?
and-
We're different
Well, no, not
because
you. Me and
blah, blah,
Tara.
blah.
Membership. Oh no, wait, I get to relax this year. Never mind. You guys all
It's
gotta
not
work.
high-fiving anybody.
I just gotta find myself. Communications gotta work.
What about mentoring connectivity? I have that in my hand, and that was something everyone was.
Satisfaction.
Is that
Happiness.
satisfaction?
On both points.
Happiness.
Both the sustainers
You
and
should
also
just draw a big happy face right there. We want everybody to be
having fun.
happy.
Inspiration. Remembering what you
Yeah.
having fun.
Well, this was a separate thing we decided, right?
Yeah,
This was
that's separate.
section.
That
We
little
leave it just
three.
so it stays separate. Okay, we don't know what the title on that is yet, though. So, okay, I'm coming back to this one. Demonstrating the value of junior league. This is more, Michelle thinks external?
Yes, but also I think it's when we choose a community impact, you know.
Yeah? Do others think it should go there?
But also, if members see value in the league, they're gonna wanna stay.
Right. Well, that's why I was questioning, is this an internal demonstration or an external demonstration, right? Because if it's
Right.
internal, people, then they're gonna stay. Maybe we get rid of it. Oops, it's gone. If we don't know where it fits.
The objective evaluation process under community impact.
Okay.
And we have no evaluation process.
Showcasing skill building development of league members.
Is that development?
Does that define and develop member training?
Yeah.
Or was this external? Showcasing skill building and development.
Oh, this is, somebody had referenced, let's do like a profile of somebody. Sherry works at Reach and she does XYZ.
External.
Yeah.
So like a
Or
skills
internal
audit.
too.
A
It
skills
could be
audit.
internal too, yeah.
Is
We
that
talked about a
is that
skills
really would that fall under growth in really showcasing the reach of the league? I mean, no, I guess nobody, even sustainers, don't really know how big we really are. You know?
Do we need like an external
So maybe,
communication purple thing? You know, what I mean, is that a thing that we want to work on?
or is it a green?
I think
top
I've
thing?
been hearing more and more yes, that
Okay.
externally we need to do a better job of publicizing
Yeah.
who we are, what we've accomplished, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, so increase
I'm sorry, we're
external.
supposed to work on.
Do others agree?
Public.
Increase
I agree.
external, what'd you say, Jen? Repeat it.
Mhm.
External
Communication.
PR, communications.
We were supposed to work on stacks on having all the
Yeah!
I know, but we ran out of time. We were supposed to call every sustainer and be like, oh, so where are you on the board of? What have you done?
Okay, so that would be
Got it.
showcasing what we do more.
And then PR.
Does that get us more members? No, separate? I don't know. Where's PR? Oh,
Is
PR.
that still something we want to?
Yeah, I would think so. I
Yeah.
think if more people know who we are, what we do, and what we represent, they would want to join us.
Yeah.
Leveraging our network? Is that for community? Is that for, I came up around projects, right? Like we should
Yeah,
leverage our.
I really
Using our resources, wasn't it? But like, we
Resources?
only use like lawyers and
Yeah.
stuff that we do.
I almost, it could be community, but it also could be that one, define and develop member training, that kind of thing. So if you're outside of those professions, like, there are other people that have skilled needs,
Skills to
right?
share.
So bridging that gap is really what the post-it was about.
So where do we put it?
Yeah, I would put it in define and develop member training, because we talked about assessing new member strengths, right? So if you know the strengths, then you can kind of
Leverage our
keep it right
network,
where-
'cause it's internal.
Your bubbles.
This one we decided could go to both. This is demonstrating the value, which is increasing our external communication, but member satisfaction.
Yeah, it's almost like it could cover all of those.
I think
Should I almost get rid of it because it like goes
Yeah.
in everything?
Yeah.
because we will in the end. If we do all of this, we will
Right.
demonstrate the junior.
So we need a header for this, but we've got it now under basically 5 things. We don't know what the other one is. So we've got increased member satisfaction and retention. And there's a million ways we can do that. But we could do some measures and look at how we're gonna do that this year, where we can say, yay, we did it or not.
Yeah.
We've got choose a community impact / issue. That's pretty concrete. We gotta figure out how we're gonna do it. Define / develop membership training program and increase external communication. And then that whole restructure for better succession planning.
And this almost speaks to me about structure.
It
Like,
is a structure.
yeah, so
Because I think of it from the start.
Maybe we say that. Restructure for better succession planning.
Yeah,
That's one of our plans for the year.
sounds good.
We need a purple.
Let's get in our bikini.
Let's get our bikinis. We're done.
Restructuring, is it called restructuring?
Another purple?
No, like another,
Strength planner?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Are we done for
Wait, are we done with
We're
this?
not done. I'm just
Are we done? Do we have?
restructuring for
You could say for succession or increased
So
sustainability.
it's restructuring,
yes.
restructuring.
Restructuring leadership.
Okay.
Leadership.
I think this still needs work, but I don't know what to
Yeah.
do with it.
But I think it's more the leadership like
Because it was, it did that. and then-
side because that's really it, the board.
It was not supposed to be there.
Okay, so at this point in our discussion, we actually kind of already did some of it in a very
Organic
makeshift
way,
fashion,
like we are.
right? So
That's how we do everything.
goal development, actually, we've narrowed down to these 5 areas. And the next piece would be, normally you'd have like a jillion purples, but we only have 5. So the next step would have been prioritization, but we kind of already did prioritize, right? So the final portion or segment of the day was intended to be a discussion about a progress report and timeline, roles and responsibilities, dashboard and communication plan. But I think that would be better saved for tomorrow when we actually start talking about SMART goals. Because we've already started that conversation here, but we also need fostering buy-in will come from our committee leads, right? So we could actually roll this into tomorrow's discussion, so they also feel a part of, this whole development of the 2012-2013 plan. What do you guys think?
I like it.
We didn't get down to 3, Jen. I know we were like all about the 3s.
No, no,
We do,
this
we have
is
3
good.
columns.
This is really
3
good.
columns.
We have
I
3
know, I was
columns.
joking. It's pretty good, but
This is really
We
good.
have 3 columns of strength.
Okay, so we're gonna guess, we need Janice, and who else is over there? Laura. Okay, we're
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
guess who somebody is.
What? Oh, guess, oh, yeah.
And this is not cool since we have 2 people that haven't done it yet, so it kicks them out of,
But
it's
we
not
don't know
them.
who they are.
Did they turn in their results?
I'm telling you. All right, this person, where's my little book, just in case I need it. This person, one of their things is they are what's called a woo. Woo.
How do you spell that?
W-O.
Read your book.
Read your book.
Woo. Read your book.
They're a woo.
I already know who this is, I think.
The woo.
It's a
Do people who have woo love to meet new people and win them over. They love breaking the ice and making a connection. These are like your extreme networkers, right?
Jen.
They like to.
Jennifer.
Those networking things are awesome.
Totally, Tara.
They want to meet somebody new every single day.
It's Tara.
They put strangers at ease. They're your welcome wagon, right?
See?
Like,
Tara. Totally.
These people help you with your networks and your connections. That's what they do, right? But the funny thing about woos is they often just want to meet new people, and then they're just like, I'm moving on. I'm going to room. They want to collect as many business cards as possible, like throughout their entire. That's what they do. But they're really good at it. They're like amazing networkers. And woo stands. Woo is they do this acronym.
Don't you have my
It's
business
for
card?
winning others over. That's what it is. They
The one that I met 5 seconds ago.
Yeah, they love.
She said
These people
yesterday.
will strike up a conversation with the taxi driver, okay? And like they'll be the best friend. They'll be like, and then we're having dinner with the taxi driver tomorrow, right? That's those people. They are not shy. They're gonna talk to people in the grocery checkout, wherever. That's what they do. But again, think about it for the league. People with this talent are really good at things like new member or outreaching and networking and bringing people in and building that network.
I think that's Jen or Sherry.
Okay, this person is also super strong at communications, which we talked about beforehand. So they're just a good communicator.
Jen, yeah.
Words, talking. They're conversationalists. They're good presenters. Okay. This person also has positivity, like Janice. You okay?
I just got
She's all choked up.
so overcome by the woo.
Because she knows it's not her. She just took it.
Positivity.
She's actually happy. I'm a friggin' grump. What are you talking about?
So this person is the positive, same as Janice, glasses half full, we're gonna see the silver lining and everything, that kind of thing. I see people guessing. Okay, this person is also an includer, and includers would be kind of obvious from the
the name, but
Includes people.
includes people. They're accepting,
What a
they
concept.
like to, they'll notice who's feeling left out and think about how to
Oh, not
bring them
Jen.
in.
Yeah.
No.
I could care less. Go sit in your corner and sulk. No one has time for you.
They feel like we should be involved. Expand the group, how do we bring more people into the group? Sometimes helping voices be heard that aren't heard, making sure that everyone feels part of the team or the group or things like that. Yeah. And the last thing for this person
She's thinking way
is
too hard.
competition.
Melissa.
This person is
No.
competitive.
Jennifer.
This person likes to measure their progress against performance of others. They want to win first place. They like contests. This person would want the badges. They would want to get every badge, get them all first.
And their picture everywhere? I know who it is.
Melissa! It's so Melissa! Have you seen her Facebook page?
So these people see it as a win-lose situation in the world. They want to win. But you should set it up. Like lots of people are like this, competitors, right? So you need to set it up where they can have measured things. We're gonna win.
Exactly, we're gonna die.
It says achieving a goal is winning, missing a goal is losing.
Yeah.
There's no second place. They wanna.
There's no second place.
And they also see these people are sometimes bad losers. They want to win all the time, and if they repeatedly lose,
I'm out of here.
they're gonna leave,
Yeah.
right? And so they're like, if you have competitive people on your team, you as like a manager, for example, should set things up where they can keep having, even if it's the smallest wins, like they want the gold star, and they'll be like, I got the gold star today.
Yeah, I think that's Melissa.
And
Yeah, I don't think it's Melissa.
Can I have some stars
She's
for
like,
me so every
there's
time Jen comes to a
stars.
meeting? Gold star, Jen, you came
There's
to my
stars
meeting.
all over. Okay, it's Michelle.
okay, so who do you
Did
think it is?
Michelle take this exam?
Yes.
Okay, it's Michelle.
I don't think so.
Red stars.
I think it's people on the couch.
So remember, this person is a woo, the networker. They're positive. They're an includer. They're good at communicating, and they're highly competitive.
I know who it is.
It's
Wait,
Jen.
I think
It's
it's
Jen
Jen
or
or
Sherry. Those are my guesses.
Wait, who was the first person we guessed? Oh, yeah,
Janice.
Yeah.
Janice should know this because Janice is really good at developing people, so she'll know
Yeah,
who's
who is
strong.
it?
Well, I'm thinking it's one of these two ladies here.
So
And
who is
really, because Sherry has the face, I'm thinking maybe it's her, but it sounds like Jennifer. But could be Sherry.
It's
Because
Jennifer.
she has
I'm secondly like the woo got you. I know she sent me her stuff and I was like, of course you're a woo. I could have like done that. Just
I have a
I
picture to show
for
it
you,
to.
right?
Jen's like,
You and then Jen and her competitive wooing is gonna want to be the best networker of all
Yeah.
time. Right?
If
So
there's
she's
any
gonna have a
other woos,
contest.
So not only one profile, but 4 profiles, and she needs you to be her friend for all 4.
Yeah.
Exactly. And if she's not,
She has on there, it's like 10,000.
And then I get like the junior league thing 4 times. Okay, thank you.
But we should let her run with those things. She should work on her networking strategic things. She should get out there and woo everyone for the benefit of the
I
league,
don't have
right?
time for this
Because
crap.
she's gonna want to
This
do
is so
that.
boring
So
to
if
me.
we're
Boring,
maximizing
boring,
Jen,
boring,
right, we're gonna
boring.
get her.
But that isn't boring to you.
No, it's
No, it's not at all.
Because
Right?
it's
It's fun
measurable.
for her. We're gonna
Yeah.
literally we should set her a wooing challenge that's competitive. Like she needs to broaden our networks and bring in X number of people this year and tell her to go because she'll rise to that challenge. She'll do it well. She'll love it.
Yeah.
but it actually makes sense though that you would like the measurement piece because how are you going to woo people if you don't have content, right?
Exactly.
I mean, you can only
Right.
smile for so long, but
Yeah.
then people actually want something deliverable, right? So
Yeah.
that makes perfect sense.
her strengths?
I'll
Wait,
email these all around.
let me tell you.
I didn't email it. So Jen,
Actually in the book.
I'm a winner.
No,
That's
but
what
I
you.
need her 5.
oh, you want
Oh, her five.
Okay, so it's woo, communications, positivity, includer, and competition.
I think competition should have been up there first or second.
Well, it's not in
it's
any.
not necessarily in
it's
order.
not in order.
Oh, I thought
thought it was.
No, it's not
Oh,
in
it's
order.
not.
It's
Oh, okay,
not.
that's
So-
good.
Okay, so here's something that's really interesting. So Justin also took this exam.
Yeah, do
right?
it with your spouses.
And I
It's
highly
hysterical.
encourage you to either do this with your kids, your significant other, or your spouses or something.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. Now. So, if you look at the way that Deb is graphing these, it's going to be really cool because then it'll show the team where you fall and then like how it's really good if you have strengths that complement other strengths because it's kind of like split in half. These strengths, the way you'll see
Right,
later.
I'm doing it too. This is
Yeah.
just like who's what.
Yeah, it's
we're
gonna be
talking
really
about,
cool. But when
right? They fall actually
Justin,
into the sort of 4 quadrants, and you can take a look at like, are you all in one quadrant?
Yes.
And like, our team is pretty balanced so far as like a team,
that's good.
which is
good.
good. It actually is bad when you all
my
live in like.
strengths are heavy onto one quadrant, okay? And then Justin, when he took this exam, his strengths fall heavy into the quote unquote opposite quadrant. And if you read the book, it actually says these are the strongest relationships that you can have in your working environment, in your friendships, in your
Oh, yeah, 'cause
marriages.
it tells you who to go.
Because you
Balance
each other. If you work, if
you
that's how
appreciate the
you,
strengths.
if that's how
Right.
you
That's
work,
If you can
that's how you
appreciate the
work.
strengths
Yeah.
and know
Or
that.
it could be opposites.
Yeah.
Opposites just tear you apart.
Yeah,
but
because
if
Justin
you-
doesn't care if she's yelling at him.
Who cares?
He's gonna let her win.
No, but his strength is what's called real estate. There's something in the book called real estate, and what's so interesting about it is that you meet the person and you move on. Like, who was it that I just met 5 minutes ago? They were interesting at that point in time, but 5 minutes later,
relationships.
The
he's
relator.
about solidifying that relationship. So
Yeah, the relator.
so the
He's a
same
relator.
person that I meet at a party, I'll talk to them once, and then I might not talk to them again, like for like
For
6
years.
weeks or something, and I might even be like, God, I vaguely. Justin would have already talked to them again, like maybe the following week, and had lunch with them, or maybe exchanged like some sort of meaningful, I don't know, interaction with them. And they say with that type of relationship, where you have somebody that meets and then somebody who solidifies that relationship, it's the strongest thing for a business.
Yeah.
Right? For a business, because you need the rainmaker, but then you need the person to keep the business coming in, the customer service and
Right.
that, yeah. So it's
So you're the
interesting.
opener and Justin's
The
the
closer,
Right.
totally, that's
Right.
what,
Which is
that's
good.
what when
It
we
talks
were
about
reading the
that.
book, it was very interesting, yeah. He's
Soon
almost
there'll
opposite.
be a J&J.
Yeah.
But again, think
Associates,
about
yeah.
the things that you're strong at, you also need to sort of feed and nurture, or you're gonna be really unhappy in a
Right.
job. So like if Jen doesn't have wooing opportunities, she's gonna go crazy.
Yeah,
She needs to be out like at the like Pauhana working the bar,
yeah,
right? She should know that, like,
Yeah.
because if she goes too long without that, it's gonna like, she's gonna go crazy.
Yeah.
If she doesn't have competition, she needs to create it. Like she needs to create environments that she can be happy being competitive.
Yes, yes. I'll just say that.
but the
That's how I-
I've had people comment, you create work for yourself. And it's true, because I need to feed that.
So now I know
ability.
whenever I talk to you, okay, you win, Jen. Every week.
But it
But
needs to
it
be a
has to
real
be
win. It
real.
can't be
I
a
know,
real
like,
win.
it has to be like
She wants to have an actual
I
race,
know, I
Yeah.
know.
right? She wants to actually like
Just give
yeah.
her a
Not
star.
just a lip service.
Not just
Yeah,
I'll argue with you for a little bit.
Yeah.
But her competitiveness could be in the tiniest of things, like who's gonna run to the door faster.
Yeah.
Oh, I got here before you.
So I have a question because I know that we have that special code that we keyed into it and it goes onto this website and it keeps our information so you can go back in.
Yeah.
So when you had Justin take it, did he have to have a separate book?
Yeah.
with a
Yeah,
different
yeah.
number?
Everybody
Your
does.
code, and that's what you basically
Yeah.
pay for. It's like
That's-
it's $11
Yeah.
or something like
Okay.
that, and
Yeah.
you get the book with the code.
Where'd you
get it? Amazon.
Yeah.
Maybe
also Barnes and
has
Noble
them,
has
but I mean, I
them.
ordered on Amazon, it ships, I got
Yeah.
20 of them for us.
Do you know years ago, I had another book that I read that was, I think the book prior to this, and it was so true, and then when I came across this, I thought, oh my gosh, This is a continuation of that book.
It is,
I
it's
actually
2.0.
used a new version
It's
of the same
2.0.
book.
So yeah, this is
Do you
the
have
second
yours?
version.
Give me yours? Oh. Should we do one other person? Come on, let's see, hang on, wait. And did Laura finish hers?
Did people do it, that are coming tomorrow, or is it just the
Yes,
board?
they should have done it that
Although,
that are
I don't
coming
think
tomorrow.
anybody sent me theirs who's coming
Oh,
tomorrow.
really?
Sorry, slackers. But I was asking them too, so, well, maybe we'll make them do it in the morning,
Yeah, maybe
right?
we can have them.
Or we could do a
during
couple
the-
tomorrow too.
Yeah.
Well, you know
'Cause
what,
we
I
have-
didn't know, so I didn't remind the chairs, because I didn't know if they were doing
It's
it.
okay. We'll give them some time to do it tomorrow.
Oh, there you go. I got it?
Because we have some
I'm like
extra.
this far away, I
copies
can't
of
even
it.
Here, okay.
Poor Laura, she's sitting there and she could be
Interesting, okay,
attacked by the chair.
So we're doing another one.
let's do another one.
Okay.
Let's do
Mine,
another
mine.
one. And then we'll take a break, huh?
Did you get mine, Jeff?
Huh?
Did you get it?
Was this yours or this was?
Or-
That's mine.
No.
That's mine, my name's on it.
Oh, did you email it to me?
No, but I
Just
I
write it
wrote
down.
them down.
Well, just give me a piece of paper then, I just have a
Give
little
her
Excel
this
spreadsheet, right?
Oh,
A
see,
visual
but
deterrent.
you mean it doesn't
To not go this
automatically
way
go into
because-
yours?
I
It
don't know
might,
the
but
trip.
I'm just, people who emailed
Too
me
many
ahead of time,
wires.
I got.
Oh,
Yeah,
alcohol,
so
you
just
know.
now, so
Oh,
it might
okay.
have
I just
emailed
wrote
to
it down.
Perfect, Laura, okay, then we have everybody. Oh, Michelle, I don't have yours yet either.
Okay, it's coming.
Okay.
I'm almost
Oh,
there.
yeah, here it is. Interesting. You're learning so
It's
much
always
about
scary.
this. I
It's
am.
always
And you know
scary.
what? It's really interesting. I just finished hiring 2 people at my new job, and actually one of the candidates in the middle of her interview, one of the questions was something about what's your asset, or what's your, one of those questions, right? And she actually said, well, I don't know if you've ever heard of StrengthsFinder, but I took that not too long ago, and I'm really good at, and she listed the things she was really good at. And on the panel, I was the only person that knew it,
Yes.
but I actually and I was like, oh, I'm aware of, that's really interesting. But the things she said she was good at were the sort of inherent things I wanted in a person for this job. And so we hired her because I said, she's inherently good at some of these top skills, like she's a natural at it, and those are the skills we need for a person in this job. So it was like, I was like, I don't have to worry about training her. She's just, by her nature, good at that. It'd be like if I needed a woo, if I knew I needed that salesperson or that networker, I'd be like, wow, your top thing's a woo, you're hired because you're gonna be good at it. Okay, let me tell you our next person. Okay, our next person is.
Okay, you gotta get over here, Laura, you cannot pee.
Do not
Hold it.
pee.
No, I'm gonna just.
No peeing. Oh, you got your book back. I'm sorry. She's
That's all right.
that gives me a
That's
sense of
good.
who
That's
she
all I
is.
wanted.
She's like, give me my book.
Because I love this where we have to try to figure it out.
Because you know
Mystery, intrigue.
Well, she knows because she's like, I know exactly who it is. She's a collector. She's collecting.
And she's probably writing it down, right?
No.
She'll remember it. She'll remember it.
She'll
And then
remember
she'll
it in her
go,
head.
remember you are a da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like,
No, but those input people are good because they often will just have in their brain a way of keeping all that information, right? Janice probably would know where to find stuff at the junior league office.
Well, it depends. Because we move things around, I used to, and then we move things around to that new storage facility, so I don't know, we'll have to see.
Or information though, right? Like who would know this? Janice would probably just know. Oh, you should talk
Penny
to
is
so
like
and
that
so.
too. Penny.
Okay, this person is strategic. These are people who
Michelle.
strategy. They have they can see alternative ways to proceed in something. So when faced with any kind of scenario, they quickly spot relevant patterns, issues, whatever. They see things strategically kind of before anybody else does. Let's tell you what else about this one. Just inherently, they're going to just see it. They can sort through the clutter and see the best routes. They'll see things through like, well, what if this happened? Where is it going? They can see the paths and pick it out, right? They can just sort of see it from a very macro level, at a kind of high level. Like somebody who has this, their quotes, they put quotes in here, says, it seems like I can always see consequences before anyone else can. I say to people, lift your eyes and look down the road. Don't you see that if we do this, this is what's going to happen? Like they just inherently can, and not to say that they're like magical future crystal ball people, but like the
Sounds
sort
like a
of
wizard.
how things would play out, right? They can kind of see how things would play out. They like logic problems. They'll be like, if A, then B, then C. I'm not telling you who this is. This is somebody. This is strategic, right? So these people,
Oh, but you have yours in there too, right?
me, yeah, I'm in here too.
Oh, okay.
These people you should involve in planning sessions, because they would, if you would tell them, if we did this, what would we expect? And they often have already just like, they would just inherently kind of know, they'd think about it. But they also want to usually think about it. They want to think about what the scenarios would bring, and they can kind of play that out in their mind. And I think that makes sense to everybody. Okay. That's one. So strategic. This person is also an activator. And an activator are people who can make things happen by turning thoughts into action. They're often impatient.